Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Reverts and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you the best settings in Battlefield 2042. If you guys are new, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the button. Let's try and hit 50 likes in this video. Can we hit that? Let's do it. So I'll be showing you my best settings. Now you guys probably seen me live on YouTube and live on Twitch, and a lot of people have been asking me, what are your settings, because I'm not missing. People think I have a Cronus, which I actually don't. Trust me, I don't. But I'm just going to show you the best settings for Battlefield 2042. My preferred, well, technically, I got it from someone, but I'll put his credits down in the description. But let's go to the settings. So the first thing is general. This is anything you could keep. I would recommend turning off control hints and reactive hints, and the reason why you should turn these off, and share usage data. Those three should be off. Is the reason why is because these hints that show up on your screen, like press square to parachute, press X or press triangle to throw a grenade, it warns you, oh, there's a lock on coming. Well, probably that you could keep, but like those easy hints, it could get distracting. So I recommend you putting it on off, but for people who are beginners, I would keep it on for quite a while, then turn it off, because you guys probably don't know the buttons yet, or or you guys don't know what button is the parachute, what button changes. Turning them off, like if you start off the game, turn them off. Let's go to network. Network could do anything, literally. This is, I think, all default. I think, yeah. These are all default. Okay, so keep them. Now let's go to display. Display the field of view. I put at 90. The reason why I did not max it out is because it gets hard seeing from far distances. Because these enemies are small. They're not like really big like Call of Duty. So and it's a big map with really different textures, so it's hard to find players. So I recommend putting it at 90 field of view instead of 150, just because that it still gets the distance. I will put vehicle third person field of view at 88, just max that out. ADS field of view, turn that on. Brightness, this is your preferred, like again, your preferred. Motion blur, turn that off. We don't need motion blur. Motion blur could get distracting. I'm not gonna lie. When there's like a grenade and your character feels wuzzy or anything, yeah, that's what motion blur is. Just turn that off to 0. I think those are set to default. The chromatic aberration and vignette, you could turn that off. Go to HUD general. You could keep those on. Just turn off control hints, reactive hints. Those are the show vehicle seat on, because that shows on the right hand side. What is the top gunner? Is it empty, so people can see who's in your vehicle? I'll keep that on. Soldier compass, keep that on, because that shows the compass on the bottom where there's an enemy. It would blink red. I would suggest. Camera shake, turn that off. Go to lowest to 20. That's the lowest. 20 camera shake amount. Turn that off. Colorblind, those, if you are colorblind, I would mess with this. Put it on your preferred color. Like the squad, for example, is green. Light blue is team. Red is enemy. This is default technically. But if you're colorblind, make sure you switch them to your desired. Just put colorblind on any of these. Custom, you can make your own colors, but I'm gonna keep them on off. Chat log visibility when active, so it only visible for a duration. When a new message, it's just funny. It's because people, you could just read the chat and see how triggered people are, or just if you're trolling, how they would react. It's your preferred, but I would suggest putting it when active. So, because if you put hide, it removes it. If you put show, it just shows a full list and doesn't go away. It's gonna get in the way. So put on when active, I would suggest. Chat background capacity, I think that was on default 100. World log. I want you guys to do this. Squad and nearby. Show kills made by squads and nearby. And here's the reason why. If you put self, it would only show yourself and not your squad mates, which you don't know the score. None, it just doesn't show. Squad and nearby, it shows for your squad and anyone nearby without who's not in your squad. Shows who kills on the, it's a death message. All, you could do all, enemy, everything. But I would suggest leaving it at squad and nearby. World info skill. I think those are just on default. The HUD scaling is on default. You could change it. You could make it smaller if you want, like how the death messages, the HP, you could make that small. But I my preferred, I just keep it 100, all 100. World info skill, player info skill, vehicle passenger skill. Those are just skills of the HUD. Moving on to crosshairs. Crosshair opacity, I think that's already 100 by default. I don't know, but if it isn't, I would recommend putting 100 opacity so you could see your crosshair. Because if you make it really small, you can barely see the crosshair. The outline, make it 50. And here's the reason why. That just makes it the outline. So technically, it's for me, it's color is 100. For some, it's black, so it shows black. I would leave it at 50. Crosshair color is white. You could change that to a different color if you want, but I suggest. Whoa. Nope, we're on display. You could change that crosshair color to any color preferred. Crosshair thickness, make sure you put this on thin. And here's the reason why. Making it too thick would just cover, it would be too bold. I mean, it's not my preferred. I would suggest thin because it doesn't get in the way, because thick, it's just a big ass plus sign right in the middle, like it shows on the picture. Default, it just shows by default, but I'd put on thin because it makes it better. Crosshair projection, keep that off. Here's the reason why. This could lessen the feeling of motion sickness, apparently. So this is just, if you have motion sickness, I would suggest turning that off. Keep that off. I don't have motion sickness, but it's just better. So it's because you feel wuzzy. Hit indicator opacity. Make that 100. I don't know if that's by default. Hit color, I would put black, but that's when you hit someone without armor, of course. It will have a X on the crosshair that is black. Something that you could actually see. You know what? I'm actually gonna move it down to red because I just feel like it. Because black, I sometimes can't see if I'm hitting them, in my opinion. So I'm gonna just put red on an X, so when I know, okay, you could pick any color. Hit color indicator does that. Show damage type on. That just means when you shoot at someone, it shows that you're hitting them. Keep that on. Headshot color, white. Kill color. You could change that on your prefers. Armor broken hit indicator, keep that on. This is so important because when you have this off, you can't see if the guy has armor, a soldier's armor. So if you keep that on, it shows a blue like dash. That means there's an armor happening. Okay? There's an armor going on, and you have to try and get rid of the armor. So it'll know what if the soldier has an armor or not. You could change the indicator color for the hit indicator, the armor hit indicator. The damage indicator, you could change that color as well for soldier damage color. Thickness, soldier damage thickness, put that on thick. And here's the reason why. Because you have it on medium, which doesn't show that much. So soldier damage, once you shoot at him, it shows, okay, it has a huge hitbox. Okay, you're making a huge X. So it makes it thick. Because if you put it at thin, it's so small. If you put it at medium, it's decent. Damage color, so once you hit your vehicle on a sidewalk or on a wall, or you're getting shot at in the vehicle. It would show like a yellow crosshair that okay, you're getting damage from that vehicle. You could switch that if you want. Vehicle damage thickness, put it on thick. That means that shows bright. That means once it hits, it shows a big arc. If you put it on medium, it's medium. Small, thick is too thin. You can barely see it. So that's why I put thick, because I can see if I'm getting hit or anything. Same with minimap. Let's go to minimap. Rotate with view should be on. Right display, by the way. Just put the right triggers. We haven't made it sound or controller accessibility yet. Minimap, rotate with view. Keep that on. And here's the reason why. As you turn around, the minimap will turn around with you. So it's rotate with, depends on which way you're looking at. Default minimap view distance auto. You could put that on far, but I would suggest auto. Close minimap view distance on foot. Keep that on 40. Medium minimap view distance ground vehicles. Put that on 120. Far minimap view distance air vehicles. Put that on 200. Those just shows how far you could look in the minimap. Minimap icons opacity, make that 100, because you gotta see that. You gotta see. It's gonna be on the top and the bottom left, and probably on the bottom in general. The minimap texture opacity, keep that at 90. And here's the reason I don't make it too bright. For the love of God, I hate those. Minimap background opacity, make that at 90 as well. Now we're moving to the big map below. The big map texture opacity, make that 100. That shows on the bottom left. Big map background opacity, that's 75. Big map background blur opacity, make that 100. And big map out of combat texture, put that on. Moving on to HUD icons. Now I think these are all set on default for the aim-based icons. The objective icons, I think, were set on default as well. So these should be on default already. Friendly icons, default. Squad icons, default. Those just shows your HUD. That depends on how much you want to scale, how much you want to show. Interaction icons, I think those are, this side HUD icons is just on default. Should not change anything here. Now moving to sound. I would put my music volume on 0. Master volume I put on 50 just because I stream and some people can't hear me. But what I want you guys to do, since the audio is so bad in this game, and I mean it, so bad in this game, I want you guys to go to audio mix, which is in configuration, and put 3D headphones, because that shows anywhere around you. It's better. Because it just makes, see, as it says, a binaural mix of any stereo headphones to better perceive the position of sounds behind, below, above you, side, so anywhere around you. Because if you keep it on headphones, you only just hear one side, and there could be someone behind you and you don't know. So keep it on 3D headphones. Keep that on stereo. Hit indicator keeps it the same. In-world radio music, keep it the same. This is your preferred, but I put music volume on 0. Voice chat. Now this is your preferred as well. I have it off because I don't want to talk to people in game chat. Voice chat channel. Those are your preferred. So we're gonna move the subtitles. This is also your preferred. Let's move the controller. Now the controller mappings, I have everything default. And here's the reason why. It just feels comfortable. I don't need to work on claw. I don't need to do... It's your preferred if you guys want to switch some few buttons like the crouch instead of the right stick to circle. Or change the gun. Or it's just mapping. I put everything on default. You could change to your preference. Moving on to global. Okay, this is where things get, where you have to focus, because this actually means a lot. And this is why a lot of people are asking me, how are you not missing your shots? Sometimes I miss them just because I let loose, but mostly I actually don't miss. You guys have complained and thought I had a Cronus, and this is the part with sensitivity matched with controller settings would benefit. So invert all vertical look for global, custom. Make that on custom. Don't make it on custom. Okay. And then just keep everything here. Moving on foot, your soldier aim sensitivity is at 90. Now, this when you aim, that's why you move so fast and you miss. Literally, you miss. So I put that at 90. I put it at maxed first, but I was too fast. I was like, no, I can't handle that. So I'm gonna lower it a little bit, and 98 fit better for me. It's your preference. Just saying. Invert vertical look on foot on. Field of view 90. We said that in the beginning. ADS field of view is on. Soldier aim assist, put that maxed out 100. Now this is only for console. You can only see aim assist. PC you don't get this feature. So aim assist unless you're playing with controller. 100, max that out. Zoom snap, turn that off. This gives you already a really bad situation. It just has a strong aim assist effect, which is it's not going to do anything. It's going to ruin your control on the person. So what I'm saying is the higher the number, the stronger the aim assist effect. This zoom snap, no, just turn that off. You don't need it. Soldier sprint, click. Double tap forward to sprint, sprint. The sprint button for me is left stick. Sprint to vault over is off. Always use traversal sprint, off. Don't use these at all. Because when you do sprint to vault over, you don't have to jump. Okay? When enabled, like I said, when enabled, when you have it on, as you're running and there's a barrier and you have to jump over it, it's going to jump for you. It's like an auto jump. It's going to ruin the game. While especially you're literally scoping behind a barrier and you walk, you're going to get vaulted. Literally. It's going to auto vault you. So I would have that off. It's going to ruin you. Always use traversal sprint, off. Zoom weapon. So soldier weapon zoom. Hold it. Just put it on hold. Zoom is for me is left trigger. Steady scope is hold. So you just hold the aim. Steady scope for me is left as left stick. Soldier zoom aim sensitivity, put that at 50 because that's how it tunes your aiming sensitivity. Okay. Parachute auto deploy off. Do not. So when you're on a plane and you want to get off a plane, it's gonna auto deploy. Just don't. You have to glide, so people could be literally just sniping and just one shot you while in your parachute. Have that off. Air spawn parachute auto deploy on. Now these are two different things. Parachute auto deploy and air spawn parachute, and here's the reason why. So parachute auto deploy is when you get out. It's when you get out of a plane. It auto gives you the parachute. Turn that off. Air spawn is sometimes when you select to deploy. When you deploy, you press deploy. When you respawn, you spawn in the air without a plane. Have that on because you could be falling to your death, literally. So those are two different things. Some people get mixed up with these. Just say auto throw grenades and throwing knives off because you don't need it. It doesn't make sense to have it on. Revive interaction toggle. Literally, you just have to press once. You could have it on hold. You have to literally hold the revive button to revive. But toggle is better. I think that's set by default. If not, put it on toggle because you could just press it once and he's already reviving without you pressing or holding it. Request skip revive. Hold. So once you request a revive, you could hold the button. Insert C5 input. You don't need anything to do that. So there's just, if you want to insert something that could detonate C4, they call it C5 here. I don't know why. But it's off. Now this is important. Aim left, right acceleration. So put that on 0. And here's the reason why. If you want aiming without any acceleration, Battlefield 4, I think, because I had Battlefield 4, but like a long time ago. But apparently, I lost the disc, so I couldn't find it. Then you have to set it to 0. I put it at 0 because I'm literally used to it. You could, so some people preference as Battlefield 1, for example. Battlefield 1 came out, people put it at 100 just because it feels better. I would suggest 0 for Battlefield 2042. Like, I would really suggest 0. That just shows as the uniform soldier aiming that is on, that goes left and right. This is important. Vertical aim ratio put at 50. This is already set by 80. Uniform soldier aiming is on. That controls the field of view and the zoom amount, how much you zoom in. Keep that on. The coefficient is 133. So if enabled, for example, a greater value results in higher sensitivity at higher zoom. So put that 133. That just basically means it gives you a faster zoom, a faster sensitivity. It just ruins it. Just put it at 133. Some people put it at 140, but I would suggest you to put 133. These were, I think, all of these were on the sensitivities of 100. Okay, moving on to vehicles. Vehicle aim sensitivity. 60. Put that on 60. 60 for vehicle aim sensitivity. That's when you aim in like a tank or a plane, when you have the minigun. That just improves the sensitivity for the aim. Vertical vehicle drivers, I think those were all by default. This would, we discovered this would be 88 maxed out vehicle, third person view, field of view. Tank aim sensitivity put at 60. Gunner aim sensitivity put at 60. Transport vehicle fear look sensitivity put at 100. I think that's already on default. The movement vehicle aim relative controls, have that on because that just shows that it will attempt a more relative when the camera is aiming. So when it aims, it just settles. Vehicle boosts, just click. You don't have to hold. It really doesn't matter. Vehicle weapon zoom, hold. For example, you could set these in the binds as well. Gunner zoom would be left trigger. All of these are left triggers with all these zooms I set. Airplane zoom, dropper zoom, helicopter zoom, they're all left triggers for me. Invert vertical flight and aircraft on. Aircraft control sensitivity, put that 100. Helicopter control sensitivity, put that 100. That means maxed. Helicopter control assists off. Automatic hovers the helicopter when no input is applied, so it's bad. Don't do that. 3P aircraft camera roll on. Now this is, again, it popped up again. Put that on 0 for vehicles as well. Aiming left and right acceleration for advanced. Vertical aim ratio, have that 100. Vertical zoom aim ratio, put that on 80. Uniform vehicle aiming, put that off. And coefficient is 133. Going to controller tuning, controller vibration, in my perspective, that's when if you have a PS5, it's called what we call a haptic feedback. I don't think PS4 or Xbox One would, I don't think any of the Xbox would have that feature. I don't know. I'm talking personally on behalf of PlayStation. So, because PS5 has a haptic feedback, even on the PS4 version, I have it off because it could ruin because it just vibrates every time there's an explosion or something. Center dead zone, put it at 12. This is just how much the control input is required for input activation. A low value means the smaller input is needed. Axle dead zone, 15. Max input threshold, 100. Center dead zone, 12. Axle dead zone, 15. Same thing as the controller left stick. And max input threshold, 100. Controller left trigger, left L2 and R2 buttons. L2 dead zone, put that at 0. I think this is by default. I don't know though. But if not, just put it. L2 max input threshold 100. R2 dead zone 0. R2 max input threshold 100. So 0, 100, 0, 100. You don't need anything with accessibility or extras. That just is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my settings. I mean, it works fine. I hope you are all the best. Until next time, peace.